20s are bonkers.
So I mentioned it before in the last episode.
Yes, you did.
That I lost weight. I lost 14 pounds, which is the equivalent of a stone. And the process I went through was by fasting. I literally, I've been struggling with a lot of confidence, and it's weird because I used to be a recording artist and I do a podcast.
Be in front of the camera.
I'm always in front of the camera, blah, blah, blah. So you would think that would be a bit strange to say, but I always struggled. Behind the scenes, I struggled for a long time with my weight. It happened really around the lockdown.
Pandemic.
Yeah. And I just couldn't shake it. I was going to the gym, still wasn't working. And I had these mad cravings for sweets because I've got a sweet tooth, a serious one.
What's your sweet of choice?
Just chocolate, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, chocolate is like
Chocolate's good for the soul, though, as well.
I've sat down and had a whole gatto and eaten it like a meal.
I respect that though.
Gatto.
At least you're committed to eating the whole thing.
Gatto the cake.
Gatto cake. I've sat and just eaten the whole gatto.
Did you have a cup of tea with it? Water?
I took some water. I had some water.
The healthy option. So when people go to McDonald's, can I get a double, triple cheeseburger with this,
and a Diet Coke.
this? Oh, and a Diet Coke.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went through like a real hard time trying to just navigate on what to do to lose weight.
Have you ever seen Matilda?
Yeah.
So like, if basically, I went online, and I looked into fasting because I just didn't really understand it. It was just like an option that I just wanted to just have a look down and see what I could do. And I stumbled across a couple of people, a doctor called Dr. Pardeep Jamidis and a guy called Jerome who has a channel on YouTube called Finally Fasting. So shout out to him because he helped me. He's helped me a lot. And anyway, like I was just looking into the pros and cons of it, like what I should do, what I shouldn't do. And then when I started to do the research on it, fasting helps with obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and cancer. Yeah. And I was like, whoa, these are quite
big things.
Massive things, right? Pause. So anyway, first I recorded my weight and I was 18 stone. That was like on the 12th of February. And I started fasting. I started with a 47-hour fast.
Wow, okay.
Took a break. And then I went on a 67-hour fast.
Okay.
And took a break. Now, in hindsight, that was too aggressive.
Strict. That I'm gonna let you speak because I have experience with fasting. But carry on.
In hindsight, that was too aggressive.
That's crazy.
But it still had major benefits.
Yeah, of course.
Because what it really did was it reset my whole body.
Yeah.
Because I started to, because I was worried about how am I going to feel lightheaded and all that. Fatigued. And I was working and fasting.
Right.
So my job at the moment is quite physical. Yeah. And I had no problems. In fact, I had more energy. I felt a lot better mentally. I was sharper. I just felt really, I really felt really good. And I had like little aches and pains, chest pains, little aches and pains. I stopped getting those pains. And it kind of made me really analyze what I was eating at home. So I literally told the missus to like, look, get rid of all of that crap. I'm not having it no more. And to be fair, the reason why I said I went over the top, it was just because when you're fasting, you should always maybe start with a day and then go back to eating and then do another day, then go back to eating and gradually fall into doing longer days of fasting or longer hours of fasting where I feel like, because I just had enough, I just went head first, pause, and I was just like, this is what I'm gonna do. And literally, it's changed my life.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, even sitting here on the podcast today, I haven't eaten anything. I've just had water.
I know, and I just sat here and waxed off a whole McDonald's in front of you.
Yeah, I've had water. I've had a coffee, but and I don't feel any weaker. In fact, I feel really good.
Energized. Do you know what? I did that. So separately.
Yeah.
Well, I did the complete opposite during lockdown. I actually got healthy during lockdown.
Yeah.
And I fasted like you. I said I do the fasting and only had water and only eat on the weekends.
Yeah.
And then
Monday to Friday.
Monday to Friday, then Saturday, Sunday eat. But when I was eating on Saturday and Sunday, I was like only wanting like a fruit smoothie or like I didn't really. I wasn't hungry for like the fast food,
a big meal or anything like that.
Or the meals, or if I was, it was like vegetables and vegetable stir fry, that kind of stuff, like clean. Because you're like, my body feels clean.
Yes,
I want to just put good things in it.
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah.
So
I do.
Wood.
So yeah,
That's natural.
It's organic.
That's organic.
Organic. So yeah, I understand and can relate to you about like it starts with the eating. It really, really does, because there was a time where I wasn't shifting weight as well, and I was like, how on earth?
How do you do it?
How do you do it? And I was going gym. It wasn't coming off.
No.
If anything, when I was going to scale, it was going up. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Because you're putting on muscle.
Yeah, because you're eating the rubbish and it's just turning into the sugars, turning into muscle. Everything you're eating is just turning into muscle.
Warning people, if you're interested in fasting, be careful. Because if you've got diabetes, it's very risky fasting.
Also, don't take what we're saying as Bible, because we are not health experts. We're not telling you to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So,
Go on.
Speak to a diet.
Speak to a doctor.
Or a nutritionist.
Well, mind you, when you speak to a doctor would advise you not to fast. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have to really navigate, like basically go on your own journey with it. But do as much research as possible. And obviously, if you're pregnant, you can't fast as well. That's a no-go. So just understand there is certain people that aren't able to do it. Before you take over, Drizzy, my insulin was super high. Right. And since I fast,
of course,
my insulin is just like, I'm on a low-carb diet. So when I eat, I only eat probably vegetables, salads. I have chicken, but I'm eating a lot of more red meat.
Okay.
So I'm having
more lean diet.
More lean red meat, mince, steaks, burgers, which is crazy to say, but that's
burgers.
So I'm finding my little lane. Now, I've been fasting on this intermittently for 4 weeks now. I think this is my 4th week. And I have had fried food in between that.
Yeah.
So what I want people to understand is, well, if you trip up or you just feel like having something a little bit greasy, just do it. But understand that you need to go back to where you're...
Yeah, everyone backslides into something.
Yeah, go back to what you're doing, because trust me, there's the results of it is going to be very fruitful for you as well. So sorry.
So my introduction to fasting was, again, I did the research, and people, the research is out there. It's just whether you want to take the time to do it. And it doesn't mean you're going to spend 24 hours doing it, but you know, the good thing with YouTube is if you watch one particular thing on a certain subject, they're going to highlight and recommend other videos. And then just do a little, like me, I do a little playlist and I just drop stuff in there to check out a later date. But go online, check out fasting. Fasting is something that we mentioned at the start of the show. Our Muslim brothers and sisters, during Ramadan, this is it. This is what they do. Yeah. And theirs is not... it's not like they got a timer. They're judging it by sun up, sun down type of thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're doing it every year. Yeah. You know, there's arguments to be made. Some people that I've done research with, they will say like, you don't need breakfast. There's some people say, as we know growing up, breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
That's a hoax.
Well,
Do you know where that come from?
what, cereal companies?
Yeah.
Yeah. But don't get me wrong, I do like cereal, but I haven't had cereal. I can't remember the last time I had a bowl of cereal, if I'm being honest.
I love cereal.
But I've got, if you go in my cupboard, I've got every type of cereal, dope ones that's there, from crunchy nut cereal to the churros one to the crunchy nut cereal. Whatever, man. The Cheerios to porridge, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I got all that good stuff there, absolutely. And you should, and by the way, people should always have hot milk with your Cocoa Pops. That's just how it's meant to be.
When you got a 9-year-old, bro.
You are a monster.
Cold Weetabix.
You have cold milk or Weetabix. You are definitely a monster.
There's something wrong with you.
Nah, you got to relax. Yeah. But I've done the week fast with just water.
Yeah.
And I remember I was going to work, and at the time where I was working, we had in-house chefs, so they used to cook breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Yeah.
And I used to purposely take myself from my desk and go sit with everybody during lunch.
That must have been
to
so hard.
further drum home my discipline of, I can smell this food, I can see this food being cooking, this, that, and the third. I'm not eating it. Now, certain days when they did cook food that I like, I would take it in a container home and put it in the fridge. And then when I've broke my fast, I'll eat. During the pandemic, I did a course in nutrition, and the person who was giving the course said, you're not meant to have cheat days.
Nope.
But you can have a cheat meal. And he basically said, if you eat clean 95% of the time, that 5%, you can have a cheat meal.
Yeah.
So you could eat clean for the whole day, and maybe your lunch, you go, I'm going to have a little burger or something, whatever, and keep it moving.
Yeah.
And it's not going to impact your journey.
No.
I've got an app on my phone. There's apps you can have that you can set it up on how your ratio of this hour to this hour, your fast to eat ratio. So I've got it on my phone, and I use it, and it's a case of as soon as I have a bite to eat, start it.
If you want to know what the app's called, DM Drizzy.
Yeah, I think it's called the fasting now. I think.
No.
Okay.
It's nothing fancy.
Yeah.
Timestamp that.
Yeah. And then he got sponsorship up. Then you click that once you've had a bite to eat. Based on the ratio you've done, so if you say there's 24 hours in the day, say you do a 20-4 ratio. So you fast for 20 hours, you eat 4 hours. You're not eating throughout that whole 4 hours, but you've got a 4-hour window to grab a bite.
Yeah, I usually do 4 to 8 hours windows.
Then the timer will then give you a notification to say it's time to fast. So you click it, and then no more eating until it notifies you it's time to eat. But you could do this gradually. Like, if you just want to implement it to your day-to-day life, you don't have to go cold turkey like this maniac here.
Yeah, I'm a maniac.
You could just do, all right, you know what? Yeah, it's real simple. Depending on what your working lifestyle's like, you could just be like, I'm going to go home and stop eating from 6 o'clock until I wake up. Now, don't forget, 6 at night to 6 in the morning, that's already 12 hours.
Yeah.
If you don't have breakfast till 9, then, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You've already fasted for a period of time.
Facts.
You can push it further down the line and go, I'm not going to have anything to eat for breakfast, but I will have a smoothie or something like that. And then my first meal will be at lunch.
Yeah.
So just do it as and when, how you feel. And yeah, it's just healthy benefits. Obviously, them lot won't want to tell you that because they need you to keep coming into the practice and prescribe you stuff and this, that, and the third.
The food companies want you to keep buying their food.
Right. But, like when I did the water fast, my skin, my chest got mad red, like it had a rash. But that was my body rejecting all the toxins that was inside of it.
Yeah.
And then after a day or two, it just disappeared.
Yep.
And like you said, you feel great. Your skin feels better. Because it takes days for your body to break down certain foods. And if you're eating that every day, then you're just asking your body to break down and work overtime. So,
the scientific words they use for fasting is when your body goes into a state of ketosis.
Yeah.
And when your body goes in a state of ketosis, it just means that you now your body now is just eating the fat off you. Yeah. Basically,
Hence, you got the keto diet.
There you go. And I feel like the main benefits of fasting is just becoming disciplined with your food. It's very hot. Like that's like, I swear to God, Drizzy, for like 3 years, I was trying to find a way to become disciplined, and I was asking God. I was just asking around, like, what to do. My brethren was like, come boxing with me. Very cool. Go gym, do this at the gym. And I was doing it. And I was just like not finding, like, I've always worked out throughout my life. Yeah. But I was like, I just couldn't find, it's like.
Find the balance.
Yeah, I couldn't find the balance. It was not shifting.
Well, they say 75% of getting to your goals is in
food.
The kitchen.
Yeah.
So if you're going with that and then you're reducing the amount you eat, you can have, because I have specific measurements of certain food intake I need to have, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, like, you know, I was 100 kg at the start of the year. I'm down to like 94.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna keep going. But I'm in a certain discipline now. It takes you 21 days to form a habit and a discipline.
Good.
If you do something for 21 days, it's gonna stop becoming like a routine. You have to do it, and it's just gonna be something you naturally do. So yeah, man. So shout out to anyone. And look, I know the year, we're kind of into March now, in the third month of the year, and some people, there's that pressure society puts on you. It's like, you have to start your journey at midnight or on the 1st of January. Fuck them. Your journey starts when your journey starts. You might listen to this now and be like, you know what? Yeah, I've been trying to think let me do some research on this fasting thing. Let me see if I can implement it solely in my life. Your journey starts when your journey starts. But we are just saying to you, you know, you can play, but let's look after your health in whichever way you wish to do it, but just look after your health and just try and live, man. And don't try to live for a season. I know some people will be banging it in the gym because they want to look good for summer. You need to look good for life.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well,
life is an all-round season.
I feel like this is something now that I will be doing once I get to my weight that I really want to be at. I'll obviously start eating and maybe a little bit differently. My patterns of eating will be differently, but it's always something I'm going to revert back to.
That will naturally happen though.
So I might do it twice a year now.
You are now listening to the Drizzy and Morgan Show.
Yeah. Should be love. Fight for.